First of all, y'all, I want to start this podcast by just thanking God for allowing us to be here for 100 episodes of MTMJ Podcast Network featuring MTMJ Podcast with the wife. So we've been rocking and rolling for 100 entire episodes, man, and I want to thank God. But I also want to let God know things about to get a little ratchet, Lord, so forgive us.
And our setup is by Indigo Creations.
Yeah.
Y'all go ahead and follow. Got the cards and stuff. Indigo Party Creations on Facebook, on IG. Ooh.
And it says at the end, remember this, LLC. All right, welcome to episode 100 of the podcast with the wife. Hey, look at her. Why we clapping?
Because it came in the middle of the song like...
Yeah, why we clapping? That's why we clapping. Because we got to get this episode out.
Ew.
All right, baby.
100 episode with 100 topics.
Ooh. We did way more than 100 topics, but we ain't doing no 100 topics. No. Oh, hell no. Now I know what you meant. We ain't going to have a camera time for that.
As a matter of fact.
So look, we just coming off of vacation.
Set the timer.
You can see my tan. I'm feeling like a Cuban right now. The hips and everything. The hip hopper, you don't stop.
No,
dropping the
no,
box.
no,
the
no, 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 no.
Okay.
No panini.
All right, baby. How you doing, boo?
I'm good. I didn't want to come home.
Yeah, neither did I. But we here. You know, spring break is over.
Oh.
You know, I think.
And it was my birthday.
Hey.
Birthday
420.
Hey, my birthday.
And my wife had a birthday. But see, that's the funny thing about being a parent. Like, what we are learning is that
Team FTK.
Yeah,
but I love them.
Yeah, and it's almost like last year, my birthday was spent with my family, and this year her birthday was spent with the family, and both times we were on vacation. So the theme of that is, and what I would tell you, why put off what you can do now for later, right? So don't feel like you need to go 3 and 4 years without taking a vacation and celebrating your hard work and dedication.
Because you have kids, take them along.
Yeah, man, you
let them explore.
Yeah, you just got to find things where it's a balance where you can enjoy yourself and they can enjoy themselves. But normally, you know, the places we've been picking, everybody's been happy.
Yeah, they really enjoyed their trip.
Yeah, baby first time, Alex first time flying on the plane, seamless.
About to catch another flight.
Because I was thinking, like, the one thing I thought was going to bother her was the ears popping.
No, it got Carl.
And the crazy thing is, I was sitting in a row in front of them that I had to myself. You feel me? The whole row. Because the flight wasn't full. But that's needed to say.
I don't want a flight saving lives.
When they was on there with a bunch of... Yeah, let me not say it. Then my wife was a lifesaver. Tell them how you became the. They need to give you an award. You should have got recognized. I'm serious.
But no, honestly, I think that all flights, just how you have flight attendants and the air marshal on a flight, you should also have a licensed nurse, EMT or something on all your flights, because you never know when something's going to happen. And that man in the row next to us was literally could have went to a coma, a stroke, all types of stuff, non-responsive, and they didn't know what to do. So, and he always say, you know, I'm being nosy, but my nosiness
I was asleep.
Saved this man's life, and he was out.
I was asleep with the noise cancellation on my AirPods. I was locked. It was no way. When I woke up and saw like everyone with the panic face, the first thing I thought is, oh shit, the plane is going down.
When he saw the man with the oxygen on, he automatically thought With my oxygen thing, like
I swear, I started looking at everybody inside on the plane to see, like, if they had oxygen, and yeah, but that's that was crazy, and a highlight of our day. Spoiler alert: the black writers redeemed this because the way the last season of Snowfall was. Oh my God. Listen, I couldn't judge that season one bit.
I need you to shush because I ain't finished it.
Now, I told someone I was going to spoil it.
So,
spoiler alert. The mom
sir,
kills...
if you want your nuts licked and dick sucked, shush.
Just know. No, but how come you act like you wanted to know a few days ago and then you trying to threaten you on the podcast?
Nah.
Is that fair?
Nah. Is it fair? You choose your own your faith.
Listen.
What you want to spoil it?
Is that fair?
You want to spoil it for them or spoil it for you?
Listen to me. I don't want to. I don't want to spoil it for me.
Okay. Well, next topic.
We're gonna get to that. I have something to say. I need to get it off my chest.
Nah.
This is what I was going to say, and this has nothing to do with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, the show. 2 days ago, you were willing to let me spoil the show with no camera looking at you and no audio adventure being driven on. Now that we're on camera,
yep, on camera
and live on the podcast,
yep.
Now, we're not live. We're here Sunday.
Yep.
You know, they'll hear this one day.
Uh-huh.
But now, why do you want to now threaten?
To see who you know who's
moving
boss.
on. Next topic.
Yeah, who's boss? Go ahead and spoil it.
So look, we're about politics now, just a little bit. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, the senator in Florida decided to allow everyone to buy a gun without a permit and walk around with it without a permit. So you didn't have to register your gun. You just go get your gun and do what you need to do. This past week now, the death penalty for child rapists approved. Santos expects to sign the bill into law.
What's this up with? What you saying?
If you rape a child, if you rape a child, there's a possibility you can get the death penalty.
Oh, if you rape a child, okay.
At least that's the way I think I'm reading it.
Okay.
But if you get deep into this bill, it might throw you a little pickle or snickle.
Nah, ain't no pickle or snickle, nothing. Nah.
So what you think about that? Do you think he redeemed himself by coming up with this law?
Let me make sure that this ain't no... Because he's a doof.
Yeah.
Wait. But it's only if the child is under 12?
There you go, babe. Yeah, dig into it. How does that make sense?
It's only if the child is under 12.
So what about... So once they become 13, 14, 15, they really start developing their cycles and whatnot.
That don't matter. They're still a minor. They still can't consent to do anything without an adult. And who willingly wants to get raped?
One of the senators said, I know everybody in this room hopes that nobody is put to death for this crime. Because if someone is put to death for this crime, it means that a poor innocent child was raped. Under the bill, defendants could receive death sentence based on the recommendation of at least 8 to 12 jurors. See, so like that's not no automatic sentence.
No, you need to make sure you got actual evidence and don't be blaming innocent people.
But that's what I'm saying. This bill has some holes in it because who's to say that the people that every rapist or pedophile or people who like to prey on underage victims don't necessarily mean they register rapists.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Help me explain this
if
much
they're
better.
registered or not registered. If you rape someone, you rape someone and it is evidence that it is rape, not somebody just blaming because somebody's mad. You get what I'm saying? You know, some people will go with the consent and then things don't work out weeks or, you know, so far later. Then they be like, oh, such raped me. Whereas you can have consent with somebody and in the midst of doing it, if it's not right for you, you tell them to stop and they continue, that is now considered rape. But I don't think that just because the child is under 12, you should put this in place. If anybody with physical evidence rapes somebody, why doesn't it apply? Why does it have to be somebody under 12? Then that's just like them going out and saying, well, how old are you? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as soon as somebody's like, oh, I'm 14. Bet. I can do what I want to you and not get death penalty.
Yeah.
But probably don't even get to go to jail.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not cool. That's literally letting the predators know that, okay,
I
we
need
put
to
it
go
a
for
limit.
a
It's a
14-year-old
limit.
now.
So I need to move it up, you know,
Yeah.
up a little bit more. Yeah, that person, and some people who rape, they want the pure type, you know, situation. But it's not cool at all.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's definitely not cool to make it as if the law, once a law is put in place, all of a sudden
that's gonna protect
it's going to protect anybody for real.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to make things better. It's not going to make things better. People are creeps. You never know what people's intentions are. And you just got to watch out for you and yours.
So one senator, right? She came from she took away the political aspect of this, and she separated it between world and spiritual. And her statement was, and she voted against it. She said, "I love kids and I'll do anything to protect them." She said, "But I struggle from the faith perspective. If I believe in my faith that God can redeem and save anybody, then how do I support someone getting the death penalty? And I'm just talking about me. That's my struggle, and that's my challenge."
And that's fine. You say faith, but you sitting here with these Catholic priests and these Buddhas asking kids to kiss them in the mouth and stuff, being predators in front of a whole congregation. Like, come on now. They're the main ones that's going to be put to death.
Man, you killed that.
That's crazy.
This was a good topic to start the episode with, because it digs into
she
a deeper
say with her
issue
faith, you got to think about it, and it's hard, maybe hard for people to hear, and even with me saying it, but these priests, Buddhists, temple people, whatever, that prey on these little boys. It's not cool. Yeah, and it's more so like they prey on the little boys because it's like, what evidence will you have? That little boy can't get pregnant. But if they prey on the little girl, it's a possibility she can get pregnant. And then it's like, okay, it's not your word against hers because now it's a DNA thing. But the little boy, he be like, such touched me, Pet did this. And they be like, oh, no, you're just saying it. But that is literally what they sit and do. And these religions, no matter who listens to this and your preference of your religion and your belief, but it is the problem that you have the people in the higher standards that you look up to and you have so much of your faith into because you believe that what they're instilling in you and they're reading from a book makes them holier than thou, makes them the higher of the high, when they're the biggest creeps out. The biggest creeps out. And to see that on TV and nobody did nothing? Nobody? Shh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And just for them to be able to come back and just apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to pray on them. No. Absolutely not. And that's the biggest ones that need to be protected is these little boys. And that rape clause that they want to come up with, those the biggest ones need to be protected. And then they grow up to be the adults that have issues, problems, and people want to pick on them and mess with them, but don't know what they went through. Like, you don't understand how traumatic that probably was for that little boy to hear that Buddhist ass suck my tongue. What? What kind of creep? No.
Yeah. I agree, babe. But let's pray for all involved and hope that whatever this law is intended to do, that it does it. We probably a week or a couple days too late, but I just want to discuss a little bit about Draymond Green's stump, and then him ultimately being suspended for that stump. Right now, the Warriors are in like a grueling playoff round one series against the Kings. And I say grueling because they've never been in a situation where they're playing up to their opponent. Right now they're down 2-1 in the series, so they're fighting to make sure they stay in the playoffs. But Draymond Green gathered a rebound, was attempted to run down the court. In the process, I don't remember how Sabonis ended up hitting the floor, but needless to say, Sabonis, as Draymond Green was trying to run away, grabs at Draymond's ankle as he's running, which causes Draymond to kind of throw his balance a little bit. And he's a big dude, where he ultimately gave Sabonis a nice size 17 shoot to the chest as he was running down the court. In that moment, the ref stopped the game and called Draymond Green for a flagrant 2, which automatically ejects the player. The league came out the next day issuing a one-game suspension, not because of the situation at hand, but because Draymond is a consistent he's a consistent person for flagrant 2s over the last few years. So he's developed a pattern to them. I disagree with the suspension. I do agree with Draymond and anyone else who believes that Draymond was off balance and didn't mean to, it wasn't intended to step down on his sternum or whichever part they claim that he hurt. But I can also see a situation where it's a possibility you grabbing at my ankle, you could potentially trying to harm me. I'm going to show you up. And I'm going to step down on you since this is what you're trying to do. But anyway, he's suspended that one game. He's back tonight as we're recording, and all is well. I mean, what you think about that, babe?
The way it looked from the angle that they showed, it looked like he was trying to, you know how somebody grab you and you try to get leverage by going in to get away type situation? And that's what it looked like. It don't look like he intentionally was like, I want to stomp on you type situation. It was like, oh, snap, what's going on here? But let me get my foot. Because, I mean, I think if he was intentionally wanting to stomp on him, he'd have better positioned himself to do it.
Yeah. But let me ask you this. Do you think a suspension was warranted?
I mean, from both, because Homeboy had his leg. He had his arm around his leg like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, if anything, he could have protected himself, but he had his arm around his leg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As if he was holding him or something.
Yeah. Okay.
From the angle that I saw.
Yeah.
So, if anything, both of them should have been suspended. If that's what you wanted to go about.
Yeah. Okay. April 20th, my baby's birthday. Alex Baldwin charges against him was dropped for the fatal rush shooting on the movie set.
Man, that there. First off, why was there live ammo on a set? That's one. That's the biggest one. If y'all be using props, blanks, with why live ammo and a real gun? But you telling me he couldn't tell the difference of the weight from a prop gun and a real gun?
Should be able to tell, but maybe he didn't notice no difference. But that's a lie. I'm only saying. I can tell the difference when a gun is loaded. If you've been using this prop gun. No, listen. If you've been using this prop gun throughout the production of the movie, you should be able to tell whether that gun is loaded or is not loaded. That's one thing. Two, I am sure gun safety was shown to the crew members and the team if so happened the gun was supposed to be a live gun. So they should know how to operate a pistol. Three, he is entirely too old, and I know for a fact he owns guns in his own personal life. You feel me? And then 4, who was the person who was in charge of ensuring that that gun was safe, loaded or unloaded, and practiced proper gun training? So do I think Alex Baldwin is liable for all this? No. But do I think he's innocent of this? No. I think behind the scenes, there's more than one person culpable for this mishap. There goes your gun safety.
What?
Gun safety.
No, there's more than one person. What?
There should be more than one person involved in this crap. What'd I say? Or what you think I said?
We just gonna let it run it back.
Don't try to run me back. I know what I said. I don't need this from you. I'm clear vibe. I'm vibing right now, man.
Let's get it.
I'm vibing right now. You don't threw me off. I was in a move. I was moving on up to the east side. But no, seriously though, it's a lot of people that's involved in this crap, and I just think that's probably why it's too many probables and not enough facts. Boom.
But it's between the person that gave him the gun and him.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so the news. Woman dragged from car, thrown over the bridge, and in Anne Arundel County, police says. So I read a little of the story, of course, and the lady was carjacked and tossed in the trunk of her car. They got to that bridge. They tossed her ass over the bridge. I don't believe, if I read it correctly, she died. I don't think she did. No,
she didn't die.
Yeah, but she got her ass put over that bridge. Now, hopefully, she took swimming lessons. It's like, no, let me stop.
She had non-life-threatening.
But on some real stuff, man. This is why
you got to watch your surroundings.
You got to watch your surroundings. You got to stick to what you know. Don't go outside of your norm. I know you shouldn't want to live your life that way, but I'm excited living my life. I'm excited living my life in the way that I'm living it. That I don't feel like I need to add any extracurricular activities to what I'm doing. It's just getting too bad. I have an attitude problem, and I'm licensed to carry. So that
because he gets you going. He know how to get you to be smooching people.
Oh, no. Oh, no, you won't. That also is something. She putting her hands on people in the public. And she talk about me not knowing how to control my temperature. As I say, not knowing how to control my temperature. Yes, that's what I said. I'm going to repeat it, too. Because you don't know how to control your temper. You like that? Temper.
Sir.
Temper.
Sir. That's not even the case.
That is the case.
After I already made my post.
You smooched the shit out that lady. And she took that shit on the chin and kept walking the opposite way. All I was saying to myself was, Lord, I am trying to finish enjoying this amusement park, Lord. Jesus, the Lord that I serve, Lord, will you please tell this lady to walk the opposite way and just take it on the chin, Lord? That's all I kept saying. I said, Lord, because, Lord, we already sat in this sun for an hour, Lord. We don't need to get kicked out. No, Lord, we don't. So just order our steps, Lord. No, order her steps, God. And lead her into the righteousness of the sun away from us, God. That was my prayer. Wow. I was laughing my behind off. Because I caught the wind. I caught the wind as she just flew past my ear towards that lady's face. You gonna watch where you going? I said, oh, shit. No, she didn't. Oh, my God. No, she didn't just do that. Lord.
Stuff.
Facebook may owe you some money.
Oh, me?
Yep, because I signed up on this $725 million settlement.
No, you about to get $3.
I already applied for it. I don't care. I think it's going to be more than $3, though. Because I remember when my information was stolen due to Facebook. And my information being stolen is worth way more than $3. So, this is what you need to do. It says, who is eligible for the Facebook settlement? So, if you had an account between May 24th, 2007 and December 22nd, 22, you are on the list.
Okay.
How to apply for the Facebook class action lawsuit. You have to go to the website, put your name, your first and last, your date of birth, your email that you use to set the account up. Boom.
So they can steal your identity again.
Yep. But hey, it comes with a price. How much could you get from the Facebook settlement? Ooh, here's where it gets good.
What'd he say?
I don't know. Never made it this far. They don't know. First, the court still needs to determine how much the lawyer involved in the case will receive. You know he about to get at least $30 million. Just for getting that. That man is never gonna work again after he get paid from this settlement. He's probably old and close to retirement anyway. He's retiring. So they don't know yet.
Okay.
What happens if you don't submit a claim for the Facebook settlement? You don't get nothing.
Nothing.
If you don't do anything, you won't receive anything.
And that's can't just how they say nothing else.
Don't make me feel bad about applying.
What you get, we gonna split.
Yeah, look at you. Now you trying to get half of my $3.
$1.50. It is. I do one better. I take $1.25.
So we was talking about this story yesterday, and I told my wife to read up on it if she could, and I know she didn't.
So this
28-year-old ignored warnings about job hopping and doubled her salary from $186,000 in 5 years. So the question is, she doubled her salary in 5 years from the 186. She has her degrees, so you know that's why she's making six figures. But people get these degrees to make six figures. Wow.
You got people who don't have degrees that can still make those six figures.
But the biggest thing is she no longer has a job paying her.
And she still got those degrees she got to pay for.
No, I'm hoping to God.
She paid off her loan?
She better. She ain't had no kids. She better have paid off that loan.
She was about to take another flight.
And I paid no, but what she's really been doing is, I don't know. In the story that I read, she just broke down how friends told her that
stop chasing that bag.
Yeah, they didn't really say it that way, but that's what they meant. She started talking about her degrees. She then went into how her degrees led her to the first job that she got that started at 186. Then she got a promotion which took her up 21,000 more. Then she felt like that wasn't enough and she needed more money. So she chased for months to find this job that she applied for at if I believe it was PayPal. And PayPal finally got back to her and gave her the money. In between there was a job that she applied for, and she was told that she could not, she couldn't match her offer. She couldn't give them a counter offer. And she believed at the time that wasn't right. You should always be able to counter, because even if you say no, if you ask, that's okay. They either gonna say yes or they gonna say no.
Say no.
Yeah, so she moves on. She felt like it wasn't enough. She gets this gig here at PayPal, and they gave her 200 and she got to about 220,000, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, she wanted more money. She got that more money and was laid off in February. Now, I believe, and my response to that was that I respect anyone that they really want to know their value, and they're going to constantly test their value. What I disagree with is it's going to come a February for everybody, and you're going to be out of work, but them bills won't stop, right? You're going to need some relationships that you built along the way that possibly you can't build because you keep job hopping. And sometimes job hopping tell employers that you aren't, you're not committed to the job at hand. And jobs like that she can make that type of money, they're looking for a commitment. And if your eye, close the door, please. If your eye is constantly open to more opportunities, and they should be. But after you have invested more into yourself and not just to the company, then you decide that, okay, let me move on and try to see other things. I don't think we're going to ever know our value. They say degrees supposed to tell you what your value is in this world. I always think I'm worth $1 million. It doesn't matter. I wake up that way. I try to think that way. Even when I take vacations, I try to be as less frugal as I possibly can, thanks to my Walmart purchase. But yeah. What you think, babe, about this and before we move on?
Yo, what? So, what she did was any job that she applied for, any job anybody applied for, it's never nothing wrong with negotiating a counter offer. There's nothing wrong with that. Like he said, they're gonna say yes, they're gonna say no. So what she did wrong was when this job, she was at MasterCard. When MasterCard is her job and she got an offer from PayPal offer was $189. She wanted a $197. They told her they couldn't do it. So what she did, she said, well, can I get a sign-on bonus of $29,000 and keep the $186 as my salary? And they agreed. First off, for them to not offer you the $197 annual salary, but they're willing to upfront give you $29,000 and the salary of $186, I'd have been concerned. I'd have been concerned if you said that you was feeling some type of way about the counter offers and stuff you was going through with them. I'd have been concerned. And not all money is good money. Because normally how it works is when it's time for layoffs and stuff, they go for the people they pay the most money for, and the last ones on board is who they kick out. And that is unfortunate that she was one of those. And she said that this is giving her time to relax from the burnout and focus on her business. But I think
been already doing.
Yes, you should already been doing if you don't have no real responsibilities, no kids. Yeah. How is it that what you was making, the $179,000 you was making, wasn't enough for you to be able to grow your business, do what you need to do, and then get your business booming and have two incomes, and then say, okay, my business is booming, it's doing this thing, I'm making some consistent money, I'm not throwing away my salary. Yeah. My salary is also helping me
fund my business.
So my business keeps me in the green. We in the green. Yep. I'm not in the red. I'm doing good. Just keep my legs closed to getting pregnant. I can keep doing good. For me to ask for more money to now be, hopefully she saved.
I believe she did. And most jobs like that, they set you up for success. You just got to be willing to invest.
Hopefully she saved.
Because when I worked for CVS, that's one of the things they really tried to do. If you were willing to take a portion of your money and devote it to making sure your long-term security was set or prepared for, then, you know, they helped you do that. And they matched everything. So just think, she making $168 at the time, and she took like 20 of that and invested that. How much more money that may have been? It wouldn't have been much because she would have been at the job for 2 years, and she would have left.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? That's exactly what I'm saying. Those are the type of things, man, that you gotta realize, man. It ain't just what you fall back on. It's like investment. Your business can crash, you know, the stock market can fail, the housing market can fail, this can fail, but
that job can fail.
But if you save something, you'll have something to fall on to, you know, something you build up. Okay.
Yeah.
Woman.
You trying to slip that Walmart in there.
Yeah, we'll come back. I believe man value his money and his career. And women value her looks. Women get things because she's pretty, and men have power because they have money. Now, before you jump into this, boo, with the last few seconds before we move on, I want people to hear a little bit of what she's saying, baby. Okay? Is that okay with you? Is it?
Let's see.
Men know that they are providers. A man's value is his money and his career, and a woman's value is her looks. That's the fucking truth, and that's the world that we live in. Women get things because they are pretty, and men have power because they have money. And if you want a good-looking woman, you're going to be spending money.
Not every man wants a quote-unquote good-looking woman. Like, some men just want normal women.
Yeah, men
like,
without money.
That's not true. I'm not dating a woman that's above a 7. Like, I'm just being real.
But if you could afford it, you would. Men know that.
Oh, bars.
Fact. Because that is a real fact. Because if you got money and you know you're not the good of looking and you find a girl that's into you, she's in it for your money. She's in it for your money. Especially if you look like you need a paper bag over your head to go out and do stuff. Like, come on now. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and the beholder is that coin. So, therefore, that coin is going to make it work for both of you. She going to make sure you look good, you going to look fly, but in the face, it's just not there. But y'all going to be cute together until your money run out. And then it's deuces. It's deuces. But then you have some women who get with somebody for their money, and then they eventually actually fall for that person once they get to know the person, know who they are, what they're about. Then yeah, but for him to say he ain't dating nobody over the 7, like she said, if you had the money, bruh, you do it too. If he had the money, he'd do it too. He'll go ahead and find him a bodybuilding shape type chick. They're gonna flex their muscles together and shit. But he don't, so he got my busted biscuit ass.
So look, one thing I love about my wife, right? As much fat shaming as we do, we also can laugh at our own self when we get caught in a moment where fat shaming plays a part on our own end. Because we got on this rowboat, right? First of all, you know why I'm going to tell this fucking story? Was because I warned this motherfucker before we approached this goddamn boat that there was a possibility we were going to get drenched. And the reason I said that, because there was a select few people on this boat, same said boat with raincoats on. And I kept saying to her, babe, why they got raincoats on? She like, no, but we going to do this ride. I said, babe, I'm telling you, we're getting wet. Right? We are going to get wet on this ride. The problem with this ride and this getting wet, right, it made everything slippery, right? And my wife likes to use a lot of oils on her legs. And they were not getting her out of this tough pickle. Oh, my God.
I was stuck.
Oh, man. She was like a sick... She like a 6 turtle. That motherfucker could not get out that goddamn boat.
My shell was stuck. I was like,
hey, listen, man. She could not get out that goddamn boat. And the sad part was,
planted my flippers in my feet from being slippery, I got out of there.
We get out of there, and then we turned around, and
it was like 6 boats behind us.
It was 8 boats. I counted them. They had all piled up. And I wish one of them had said their ass up if they had said something about my wife being stuck on that boat. But that's her fault. She did that to herself. And the funny thing was, I wanted to say it, but in the moment I couldn't say it because she was trying to ask for my help. And she probably cussed my ass out if I had talked shit in the moment. I literally waited an hour to even mention it again. I knew it wouldn't bother her because that's the type of conversations we have with each other. When people call me fat or they say fat stuff to her, we don't laugh, we don't get mad about that. We commence to look at your flaws, my guy.
I can be fat, but guess what, you guys? If I truly wanted to dedicate myself to lose
she can
the weight,
dedicate herself. We did it before together.
I can do it.
Yeah. She
but
just don't
when
want to.
you just ugly, ain't shit you can do about
exactly.
that.
We are going to aim towards your flaws, my guy.
It is what it is. Yeah, I can say her fat ass, all this.
But then the
And guess
Walmart.
what? Your daddy want me.
So look, you know that's true. Listen, we when we go out of town now, right? Because we're a family, we're going out of town as a family. We want to make sure that we can have a living kitchen while we're there, right? So it saves on the money we spend on cooking. I mean, on eating out or whatnot. So we decide to stop at our favorite spot when we go out of town, Walmart, right? Let me tell you, I was thinking as we filled this cart up that the price of these products was getting a little high, but I assumed since no one else cared, I wouldn't care either, right? So we get to the register.
He's ringing. I'm bagging.
Tell me if that don't sound like a recipe for a disaster.
So he's ringing. I'm bagging. The way we are, I'm him ringing, he's me bagging. We're counterclockwise like this.
Going.
So I just
I'm
keep
tossing stuff,
and I'm putting it in bags according to what's cold, what's not food, what's hygiene. You know, so that the bags go together. I don't just put any and everything in a bag together. No, supplies go with supplies, food go with food, cold go with cold. So eventually, I'm looking and I'm like, it seemed like a little extra than what he. Peep over his shoulder. I can't see. Let me look at my back. Is it $386? And it's got to be a good $100 and something, if not more, still in the cart. Babe, what you doing? I was waiting for you to tell me when to stop.
First of all, I didn't even realize it was $371. She had to. She had to look back and was like, ho, what the hell? No. Oh, we're returning some of this. What do you need and what don't you need?
Because the agreement was, since we flew down and we knew that the kids needed their Aquaphor, we knew we needed toothpaste stuff. No need to pack those things when we still need it at home. We could just purchase it there because we're driving back and just bring the extras back with us. Better bang for our buck versus trying to put stuff in small sizes, Ziploc bags, and busting whatever. So.
And already being at 40 pounds.
That was the plan of making sure that we was good with buying the stuff there. But then here it is. Why do we need a box of chips $20?
I don't know why. I'm so glad we took that off.
It was just so much stuff. I was like, babe, do we really need this? Do we really need this? Do we really need this? And he's like, I was just waiting for you to tell me when to stop.
Listen, man.
What? And then here the little one is.
We were home.
She just scoot.
Yeah, she just
swiping her own stuff and just put.
She's literally handing me stuff that she wanted for herself.
Unnecessary stuff that she's not going to eat. She gonna eat one or two of it and be over it. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not. And then Walmart, any place where I gotta self-scan my own stuff as an employee, one for me, one for you.
Oh no, you're not about to sit here and.
One for you.
And the funny part was, I saw her doing it. I was going right by behind her and scanning and stuff.
One for me, one for you. Hell, I ain't asked to
I guess
put
that's
these
how.
people out of a job.
I guess that's how
I gotta work at Walmart.
They need to give us tax incentives for scanning our own products. It's mighty fishy that tax season has came and gone, and there's no one. I mean, absolutely nobody talking about how much crab legs they're gonna buy. I got my check back
because soon as the money dropped, it was gone.
Listen, no.
Oh no, they on these trips.
Sonia, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh,
that is not what I'm saying.
What you saying?
In the past, you would hear 3 and 4 people asking you, "Can they claim your children?" None of that happened this year.
You know how many people have been audited and stuff?
I don't care. I think it's crazy.
The price of food is going up.
Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Nah. Ain't nobody bragging about. There ain't even the bring your refund check, get a new car commercials. None of that is going on, Sonya. Is that crazy or no?
We in a recession.
Something ain't right. They coming to get us.
Picking cotton.
All right. Karen spits on black woman. My wife knows too clear about a chick spitting on her and she clobbering them. So that just shows her pattern of putting her hands on people. You feel me? The pattern that she has on putting her hands on people. You know?
Did I put my hands on you?
Yeah. You do. I like her a lot. A lot.
Okay.
Yeah, Karens need to stop spitting on black people, because just because we in one of these times, you got to remember, when you deal with black people, it will not be like running into the Capitol.
Spitting on somebody is the worst thing.
You didn't catch the joke?
Running to the Capitol.
Yeah, it won't be like that.
Spitting on somebody is the worst thing you can do.
Yes.
On everything.
And she proved it. That's why she got banned from Costco. Anyway, Michelle Obama had some advice about people who want to be married, and I thought it was amazing advice.
It's ghetto.
You know, but what she's about to tell you is true. It does. It takes a lot of what she's about to say. Let's go.
Marriage is hard. Yeah. And a lot of young people quit on marriage over things that are just a part of the commitment.
Yes.
We've been married for 30 years.
I know.
You know, if I fell out with him for 10 and we had great 20 years, I'd take those odds anytime. But we glamorize marriage. And in this day and age, marriage is more about the dress and the dresses, and the proposal and the honeymoon and all the stuff around it, and young people aren't ready for the real of marriage. So I think, once again, it's incumbent upon us, people who have had successful marriages, to be really honest about the fact that making a commitment to be with someone means you compromise, and compromise ain't always fun. Marriage is hard.
It is not always fun. And me and her butt head every single time that we have to compromise in a situation where we don't want to compromise. It happens a lot. But the problem is we've built this armor on each other that sometimes we can swerve each other's situation. It may bother us for a day. It may bother us for a couple hours, but we've done an excellent job over the last 2 or 3 years of maneuvering around those things and coming back to where we were at first. Together.
Sometimes I want to do like the people did in Anne Arundel and toss them out the trunk of the car over a bridge.
And it happens. But that's the real of it all. You know, marriage ain't what you see on Instagram. It definitely ain't what you see on Housewives of any of these episodes. It comes with your punches, sometimes verbal and sometimes physical. It don't mean we abusing one another.
It's a UFC fight.
Yeah, mentally too.
It's a UFC. It's a WWE, tables, ladders, chairs, because it's always going to be something that somebody may not agree with. But once you had that communication and conversation about it, you may see it from a different perspective. But it's also, with being married, you have to be willing to grow in that marriage. You have to realize what we did 2-3 years ago, we can't do 15-20 years into our situation. You know, some things change, some things happen that may not even be directly you and her, him and you. It may be like family situations. That's been the biggest thing with us. Because I'm such a big family-oriented person, it's like when stuff happen in a family, something needs to be done, somebody needs help, especially like medical stuff, I'm everybody's POA. And he said, babe, when you going to, take time for yourself. People don't realize you helping them do this, but it affects you as well, your mental, and it affects him as well because he sees it. So it's not always something that happens in a marriage has to be pertaining directly to just what you and your spouse go through. It's also what your spouse may go through with their siblings, family, jobs, anything. And you being that person to be the person that they can lean on, whether you like it or not, you may feel some type of way about it, say what your opinion is, but whatever their choice is with anybody that's an adult, you can't tell grown people what to do and expect them to exactly do what you tell them. They may take your advice, But some people in their situations, it's seeing is believing. You can tell.
Tunnel vision and merge. I was telling my son the other day, I said, man, I think it's when you really truly find out how much you love your wife or your spouse or your partner, you should be able to see them amongst thousands. And I say that to say, I even think with her, she could be blinking and not seeing me for a few minutes and just look and pop right, and we lock eyes. But that says a lot. It takes.
Where we was at that happened?
When you was waiting to get, you was getting something. But that's important. No, you was waiting to get her on the merry-go-round.
Ah.
Yeah, and I was like, that's.
I was wondering where y'all was at.
Yeah, and without calling me, we just locked eyes, and I was literally at that same time telling Carl about. I said, man, me and your mother do a great job of locking each other amongst hundreds of people. And I said that's important because you that shows you can recognize your love amongst millions, and you don't have to really worry about it. But yeah,
when you decide to get married, it's just like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. In your marriage, it is all well and fine to be able to have in-laws and things like that you can bond and have relationships with. But if you don't have those, just remember, the marriage is between you and your spouse. It is not between you and that family. It is not, because that can ruin a lot of relationships if people go into that mindset of it being you and the family. Unless you can maneuver around that, and that's your thought of, I can't marry you because me and your family don't da-da-da-da, then that's your choice. But if you're the type of person like me, I didn't marry his family, I married him. How they feel about me, that's on them. And that's how he feel about my family. That's on them. But it takes you two. That is it. Not all these extra people. Don't be whining me, son. I'm just saying, my point is, don't get married to be pressured into something that you can't dedicate your full on into. Run if you need to run.
You finished now? You be saying what you can say in a minute and a half, and you be taking it in and stretching it into 3 minutes.
Y'all like our balloons?
Yeah. But, man, listen, I really appreciate everyone that's been vibing with me for the last 100 episodes and the last 40 episodes with my wife. This has been an amazing journey, and I look forward to another 100 episodes of doing this podcast. I want to thank you for vibing with me, man. Make sure you support the podcast. Got the new merch on the merch store, man. We added new merch, man. We got away from the traditional stuff and just was giving y'all some simple quotes from that we were born on the podcast that we just use a lot of. And for me is just making things up or just making catchphrases that I think are hilarious. But anyway, man, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, man. Make sure you follow. Make sure you rate. Make sure you review. Make sure you keep commenting. I see the comments, good or bad. We doing our best to really evolve this podcast. And one of the big things is to make sure we get to the next 100 episodes is you. Thank you for being a part of us. Thank you for watching us.
Balls.
Yeah, let's get it. Peace.